Hey y'all, this is AL Thick Madame, and this is the recap review for Belle Collective. So Marie and Letitia met up because the last time that all the other ladies got together, Marie wasn't there. So given what information came out, she felt the need to meet up with Marie and to tell her what was going on. So Marie first let her know that, they're going to be breaking ground for the newest facility that she wants to have erected. And, it's going to take about 2 weeks. She's already had everybody, in place, her contractors, like everything that she needs, I guess, all the codes and stuff, or like anything that she might have needed to be done and in order. Apparently that is in order. And so they are going to be breaking ground within 2 weeks. And so Letitia is like, oh, okay, that's a fast turnaround. So she was like, well, Fair Street has come to a halt. And so she's trying to figure out why. And she let her know that because of word getting around about the things that have been happening at her brunches as of late, it has been putting a bad taste in people's mouths. And so they ain't here for it. And that's why when Letitia was trying to contact people, nobody was really trying to talk to her like that, and nobody is trying to hear nothing she has to say. But Marie apologized for her part, and she was like, I only can be responsible for myself. So, I know what I did was not appropriate. So, I can only apologize for my part in it. So I'm glad that she actually was woman enough to do that. So of course, she ended up filling her in on what happened at the sistervention. And so, of course, Marie is like, I'm not understanding, like, why is it that I am always the one who is the topic of conversation? Like, why? So anyway, she was just like, look, it is what it is. Do what y'all do. So anyway, Latrice is having a photo shoot for her essential hair product line. And everything in the world and then some is going wrong. I'm not understanding how most, if not all of this stuff is even happening. Just off the top of my head, the main thing I'm not understanding is how is it that y'all ain't got hot water? Like all of a sudden there's no hot water. You're gonna have to wash these heifers' heads. But yeah, there's no hot water. And it looks like they're actually in her salon. Now, if she was at another, venue or something, okay. But it looked like it's her salon. I don't know. It might not be her place, but I think it actually is. But she done paid people to be there. She done paid the Claremont twins. Ain't that what their names are? I was like, wait a minute. Aren't these the heifers who was booked and charged with credit card fraud and stuff like that? What is going on? Why? But anyway, so I'm already looking like, why though, as far as that is concerned, like, why did you book them? Like, there are people who were in there, who were there in Mississippi that could have used the money. You probably would have been able to get by and paid less for people who have natural bodies. And we will get to that later. I'm not body shaming. I'm just going to get to a point in a few minutes. So anyway, so that's another thing. I was like, what? Why? You over here, people always want to say my brand, but if these are the same women who had that credit card fraud stuff going on and then went to jail behind it, then that is definitely not a good look for your brand. Unless you are hoping that people would not recognize who they are, and it's just like, oh, okay, I don't know, I don't understand. The photographer is not there. He is driving from Atlanta, and he gonna be there when he get there. And I'm just like, what is going on? I don't understand. And then apparently he don't know what the concept is gonna be that he's supposed to be even shooting for. He didn't know the time he was supposed to be there. And I'm just like, what? And so somehow Latrice is not aware that this man is not in Mississippi from there or has already been there. And all of these other things. And I'm just like, how does nobody know anything? I am done. I am tired. So anyway, of course, Daddy, her husband, came up in there and was like, what is going on? And she tried to, put a little blame on him. And she was like, well, you were asleep when I left home this morning. If you had got up when I got up, you could have came in with me and we could have got a lot of stuff resolved then. And I'm just like, girl, you can't sit up here and try to blame that man for none of this. You just can't. This is one of the few times you can't blame him. He ain't have a hand in the pot. All of this stuff was all your idea. All of it. But anyway, I guess the person who I have been trying to figure out who she is this entire time, this whole season, is her publicist or whatever she is, because she's like everywhere. And I'm like, who is this? That's why I was like, she's like the Marlo or Shamia of this show. Like, she just appears and it's just like, oh, okay. And I mean, ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm just trying to understand. I was like, who is that? I kept trying to figure out who she was. But anyway, that's who she is. Why was the water? First of all, I guess the water they got out the faucet, the water was brown. The water is like clearly not, it's not clear. And my thing is this, I am very much so used to well water. I am used to hard water. My grandmother had hard water and it's a completely different taste. And I've had well water from the same grandmother, my maternal grandmother's home. Neither looked like that. I'm not understanding. That water was like brown. It had a brown tinge to it. I was just like, why? And so her husband, Cliff, said something about, oh, that's some Jackson, Mississippi water. They'll be all right. And they kept trying to explain to him that their hair is dyed and they are from LA and you can't sit up there and put this type of water on their hair and then ain't no hot water on top of that. And I'm just like, what is going on? So he came up with the idea of using bottled water, and people are warming the water up in the microwave. I'm just like, what kind of foolishness is this? The check must have been good, because the twins got there and they saw the foolishness that was going down. So like them checks must have been good, because I would have been like, what? You gotta wash my hair and you mean to tell me y'all about to pour all of this water out and put it in the microwave in order for it to be warm, because in order for you to thoroughly clean my hair, the water needs to be warm / hot. Like, what is going, y'all, I'm done. I can't. And then like later on, Cliff is like in the hallway or in some area talking to his wife and was like, yeah, so I noticed that they have really, really big lips. And so she could tell that he was basically reading and was like, what is going on here? And he said, I prefer that the women be natural and all natural. And I was just like, oh gosh. And so in her confessional, it's like she trying to make it seem like he pushing my buttons and he need to stop acting like this. He know what he doing and da-da-da-da-da. Girl, they look like a man. They had decent looking faces before all this surgery. The butt was fake, the breasts are fake, the lips are injected and inflated, and I'm just like, why? Like, it is not appealing at all. I don't understand. But anyway, all this foolishness is popping off, and so the photographer finally got there and she explained that she has the twins for 2 hours and wanted to know, will he be able to, do all of what needs to be done within that time frame, because a lot of money that went into this. And he was like, I work well under pressure. And I'm like, sir, whatever, I ain't got time. So anyway, Tambra is on a video call with Gary with the T, who, I don't know if y'all know him, but if you ever have seen the Ricky Smiley Morning Show, if you ever seen them live stream, it's the other guy. There are other men, but he's very, you know who he is when you see him. So yeah. And she is trying to make it seem like they, cool with one another or whatever. And they have hosted some stuff together before. And so she has sent him a reel and wants to know his opinion on it, because she wants to do more than just be a radio host. She wants to have a multifaceted type of a situation. And so she played it for him, and he was just like, and she was like, well, I could tell by the look on your face that you were confused. So, like, what's going on? And he was like, yeah, I don't understand. And it's like, she just was like, hi, I'm Tamara, da, 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 da. And I mean, she basically sounds the same way she always sounds or whatever. And so he was, trying to tell her, like, you cannot sound the exact same way no matter what you are covering. And, you got to calm all of that down. And I understand that you want to look all glammed and all. Like, I was just like, woo, child. I don't know. But anyway, this might not be something that's going to actually pan out for her like that. I don't know what she's going to have to do in order for it to work. But as of right now, it ain't working for her. So he was just like, nah. I skipped over the fact because it's just too much. That Letitia's husband came home. So the 14 days have passed. And so she getting ready for him to be, come home or whatever. She done cooked all his favorite items and things. And she has solicited the singing services of some woman who goes by the stage name of Air. And, oh Lord. I'm not okay, like, it's like, I'm not trying to be mean, but it's like, it seems like almost everybody is being stupid. Like, I don't, like, everybody, like, each individual woman in some way is being, like, ridiculously stupid in these moments. So with this moment, she just sat up here talking about, oh, well, I had her hide in the closet, and there was gonna be a word when she says everlasting to her husband when he get there, she gonna come out and start singing. And as soon as I realized that she was gonna put her, first of all, it didn't even matter whether or not the heifer was gonna be in the closet or not. So let me just go ahead and say that off rip. But when I did find out that she was gonna put the woman in her bedroom closet, I'm looking like, you do know your husband gonna think that something about to pop off and everybody about to bust it wide open, tell him bring it back. And old girl looks really, really good. Like the girl is not ugly. She looks good. So I'm like, are you setting yourself up for failure? Because this ain't even making sense to me. So anyway, oh my gosh, she greeted him and then he saw the food and all that good stuff or whatever. And she eventually went into the bedroom, and basically what the woman is there for is to basically sing how she feels about her husband. And I'm like, girl, he don't care about what you feel. He wants you to say that we can bring other people into the situation, or I can do whatever I want to do. I like how, and I'm being sarcastic when I say this, I like how they sitting up here evading the fact that nobody has specified on the show what the contract is supposed to include. I'm pretty sure that she knows, and he'd have probably brought it up to her before. And I'm just like, oh, so y'all just go lead the viewer out on the specifics of what this contract is supposed to include, but whatever. Oh, okay then. But yeah. So anyway, the time has come, and she keeps on saying everlasting, and all of this, and then the heifer ain't said nothing. She pop out the closet. I was like, how many times did she have to say everlasting, or was this a staged situation? I kind of feel like it's staged because she was young and I don't think she is deaf. So I'm like, okay, I know she heard you, and the closet wasn't far away. It wasn't like it was a humongous room. But anyway, she finally came out and she started singing. His eyes on old girl the whole time. And I'm like, you messing up, because he probably think this is a gift for him. So I don't understand. I feel like she don't be thinking. Like, this don't even make no sense. So anyway, after she was singing, he told her, oh, I loved it. I loved it. He over here like, next, the clothes about to come off, right? That's how he looking. I could tell that's what his thought process was when these clothes about to come off this heifer. When the clothes coming off, though. When them butt cheeks gonna get the spread. When them thighs gonna open up. That's what I want to know. So anyway. Yo, I'm tired. I'm like, this is stupid. You know your husband want to be with everybody else. Your husband is for the streets. Your husband is for the streets. So anyway. Got my head hurting. So anyway. Oh my gosh. So she was like, well, yeah, let me walk her out. She has done a wonderful job. And, you know, he kind of was looking like he was going to try to walk her out. And then, like, even in the confessional, she was like, yeah, I had to go ahead and walk her out because I don't want him to be thinking that. I'm like, girl, he was thinking it. As soon as the woman came out the closet, he was like, oh, is it mine? Is it for me? Just like, you stupid. So anyway, he done brought up, he was like, but what about the contract though? And I'm like, I don't know why you thought that anything else different was going to happen. He still was going to wonder what his contract was. He don't care nothing about no feeling outside of the feeling that his friend, his little friend down there is going to get. He don't care nothing about that or any other orifice that he might enjoy a certain type of feeling from, because he might be one of those that like certain things to be tickled in the back and some more. I don't know. It's part of the sexual, you know, nature in guys, whether they are straight or whatever. So it is what it is. So I'm just trying to include everybody in it. So anyway, he was like, what that contract do though? And she was like, we ain't talking about no contract. And then they gonna try to go off and make it seem like they finna have sex. I was like, child, please. But anyway, so, yeah. Let me continue to go on because I went on ahead and watched some of it while I was eating, because I like to do that while I eat, watch stuff while I eat, and then, go from there. But I'll be back. So what I forgot to mention was, Letitia said that she wanted to go and see somebody that is going to kind of help her to balance things. I was just like, what? Like, everybody coming up with a new phrase to say, we finna get you to pay us to do something that you can do yourself. Like, anyway, they are now at the place, and it's basically counseling. And so the woman is being made aware of what's the problem, what's going on, and now they are about to do a mirror exercise where the other person is going to act like the other person after he has come home after the 14 days of him being, you know, away because he was working. I'm tired. So they are at the place talking to the folks, talking to the woman or whatever. And so he pulls out a contract because of, you know, all of the businesses and things that she's trying to have going on. Everything seemed like it might actually be going somewhere. So he has created a contract that says that his wife is to give him 50% of all earnings and all this other stuff. So she was like, oh, I know my husband very well. And so she pulled out her own contract and was like, I am willing to give Glendale 51% of all earnings or whatever in all of my businesses if he promises to love me and only me and marry me within the next month. And I'm just like, the desperation of it all. It's the desperation for me. It's like you are that desperate to keep somebody who don't want to be kept the way that you think that you would want him to be kept. I can't. I cannot. I'm tired. So anyway, barring all that, apparently they're gonna start trying to go out with other couples who they deem to have a decent relationship or whatever, and judging by the preview, they apparently don't know what's going on and what a decent marriage looks like. I'm tired. But these contracts, they just have to stop. This don't make no sense. Like I said earlier, everybody is trifling. Everybody is just trash. So anyway, Essie and Marie are out celebrating. They're having them like a little lunch or a little dinner date. And they are just going to celebrate their latest accomplishment of, you know, getting that next building for their business. And so, of course, Marie's husband comes up in conversation. Y'all, I am so tired. Like, this don't even make no sense. I have already said before, I don't even understand why she ever got back with him again. So anyway, Essie done went off. She reading Cedric up, down, and all around. And Cedric is in Aruba on vacation for 2 weeks. From what? I don't even, like, what does he even do? I mean, if they ever said what he did in the beginning of this show, I don't even understand, because every time I see him or hear of him, he ain't nowhere to be found. He ain't never at nobody's job. He out and about hanging with friends. So is he living off of her? Apparently he living off of her money or something. I don't understand. And I mean, I guess she's one of those that feel like, well, I got at least one child by him, so I gotta do what I gotta do. You know, what's mine is his, and I don't understand. He didn't bring nothing to the table. How many times have I said this? He didn't bring nothing to the table. What is going on? He didn't bring nothing to the table but his pinasa. And I'm just like, was it that good? Like, I really am not understanding why she has held on to this man for 12 years. What was it about him that made her go back and double dip? Because she was married to him once before, got a divorce, and now they back together again. For what? Like, I'm not even understanding. But Essie was like, you're a beautiful woman. He don't do right by you. He is a parasite. He leeching off of you. And she was reading down, and she's absolutely 100% correct. And this man is in Aruba on vacation without her or the kids. Why? For what? Like, I can't. I bet he banged up with some more folks. Tambra finished up one of her shows, and the person who is basically like the showrunner or program director or whatever they call it came in and was like, Tambra, I need to see you for a minute. And he was really serious. And she explained in the confessional that he's normally never serious. So she's trying to figure out what's going on. So anyway, she went in and there was like a little setup and people had champagne and they were celebrating the fact that she has had the #1 show, the Midday Diva. The #1 show that's normal for a lot of places is the Ricky Smiley Morning Show. Now, don't nobody know Tambra, and that's not a read. I'm just saying, don't nobody know her like that outside of like the people in Jackson and maybe like a surrounding area or two. But with Ricky Smiley, we knew of him because of his comedy before he actually got into radio and all that stuff. So I'm thinking that his show is nationally syndicated and all that, because I know everybody and their mama, listen to the actual radio or they catch it online. And her slot was #1 as well. So they are celebrating the fact that she has the #1 show as well. And so then Letitia showed up. She'd heard about it. And so she congratulated her and they started talking. And she was, inviting her and her man, or whatever you want to call him, to have a nice little couples date. And so she was like, well, we are exes that are kind of starting over, and I don't know, this might be something that'll scare him off. And I'm like, girl, how you gonna say that this might be too much when y'all are talking about having kids? How is eating food for an hour or two and talking to people might be a little bit too much and it might scare him off, but y'all might be about to have a baby together. Oh, okay. But anyway, so she basically respectfully declined that or whatever. And so anyway, moving right along. So Marie is at the house in her feelings because Cedric was supposed to come home and should have flown in like 2 days ago. Should have touched down and came home 2 days ago from his Aruba vacation that he went on with whatever heifers he was with this time. And so Essie at the house too, and she was like, I'm sick of this. He was supposed to be here. This ain't right. And he should be here for my ribbon cutting ceremony because they about to break ground and all this other stuff. And, he ain't been here. And so she packed up boxes. After the scene was close to the end, I realized it's 2 pretty small boxes of his things. And I'm like, that's all he got at the house? And I'm trying to understand, was his house being remodeled, or was this a house that was being built from the ground up that she, essentially drove over to? I think Essie drove her and the 2 boxes over to that house to leave them on the porch. And I'm just like, okay. But she's saying she done. And I don't know if any of y'all have seen other people do recap reviews on this show or not, but a lot of people feel like Marie and Essie are an item. They are a thing. And within this confessional, the fact that Essie says that they are soulmates and all this other stuff is probably going to add fuel to that fire. I don't know about all that. I ain't reading into that. I just know that there are people who are genuinely just best friends, and they really, like, every step of their life, no matter what they're doing, their best friend is there. And that could be the situation with them. I don't know anything else outside of that. But yeah, she was just like, you don't deserve to deal with this. It is what it is. You need to move forward. So she's moving forward. She says she's done with him. I don't know. And then, you know, of course, in the confessional, she was like, we have boys at the house. And this is not showing the right example. This is not how you treat their mama. This is not how you treat a woman and all this other stuff. And I'm like, girl, he been treating you like trash for years. I don't even understand. And then, like, she has let us know that she has caught him several times with other women. And it's like, what was the point of getting with him again? I'm not understanding. Child, they are at the little couples dinner, and Latrice and Cliff showed up. Of course, Letitia and her husband, Glenn, are the ones basically hosting it. The publicist, what's her name? Melanie, and I guess her husband or whatever he is to her, they are there. And then unexpectedly, Marie shows up with some tall basketball player looking older guy, and everybody in the room looking like, and who is this? So anyway, oh no, but she glowing though. She looked like she having fun. She looked like she enjoying herself. She looked good. She looked happy. Because normally when she's somewhere with him, she looks like she's like, I'm just here so I don't get fined. So I ain't gonna lie, I'm here for this. You know, living in the moment. I guess is what she's doing. So do what you do. Anyway, that was the recap review of Belle Collective. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. Please thumbs up this video for me. I really do appreciate y'all stopping by. Let's get down in the comment section and discuss what we have seen. Hopefully y'all will have a wonderful weekend and be safe out there and do what y'all do. Y'all have a good one. I'll see y'all later. Bye.